Hazmat placards communicate the hazards associated with various materials in transportation. And they also provide emergency personnel with the information needed when accidents occur. Hazardous materials placarding is regulated by the Code of Federal Regulations, 49 CFR 172 Subpart F. The safety of the motoring public, our drivers, and any persons who may come into contact with our vehicles and loads continues to be a BWI company-wide priority. Occasionally, BWI shipments may include hazardous materials. The CFR states that anyone offering a driver hazardous material for transportation shall provide that driver with the required placards for the material being offered, unless the vehicle is already placarded for that material. To ensure compliance with this part of the CFR, it is directed that all BWI Division transportation managers and branch managers are responsible for providing a set of 4 of each of the required hazmat placards and any applicable removal or change instructions for every BWI shipment originating from their division or branch. This includes customer route shipments, any planned backhaul shipments, and all intercompany shipments. These placards and instructions will be placed in the driver's book prior to the warehouse shipment processing. The CFR also says that no motor carrier, meaning a driver, may transport a hazardous material in the vehicle unless the proper placards required for the hazardous material are properly affixed to the vehicle. To help ensure compliance of this part of the CFR, BWI drivers are responsible for the proper selection, application, and removal of the required hazmat placards while operating any BWI motor vehicle. This responsibility includes placarding changes, additions, or removals which may be required due to the delivery, loading, or unloading of materials. And it also includes the proper removal or addition of hazmat shipping papers to the driver's book, so that they correspond with any changes in load content. A complete listing of all hazardous materials can be found in the 49 CFR or the Hazardous Materials Compliance Pocketbook. They are all listed in the Hazardous Materials table. The Hazardous Materials table has the following information broken down into these columns. Column 1, Symbols. Column 2, the hazmat description and proper shipping names found on the shipping papers. The hazard class and division. Column 4, the hazardous material identification number. Column 5 is the packing group. Column 6, the packaging labels required to be used. Column 7, special provisions. Column 8, packaging authorizations. Column 9, quantity limitations. And column 10, more quantity limitations, this time on passenger and cargo vessels. The next line is the emergency response guide number, and finally, the placarding advisory. Hazardous materials are placarded based on their class and division. This was column number 3 in the hazardous materials table, and these are the hazard classes. Class 1, explosives, fireworks, ammunition, TNT, C4. Class number 2 are your gases, such as aerosols, helium, lighters. Class number 3 are your flammable and combustible liquids, things like gasoline, kerosene, diesel fuel. Class number 4 are your flammable solids. They're spontaneously combustible and dangerous when wet. such as matches, phosphorus, and magnesium. Class number 5 is oxidizers and organic peroxides, fertilizers, pool chemicals, and peroxides. Class number 6 are the toxic poison materials and infectious substances like pesticides, tear gas, medical waste. Class number 7, radioactive materials. Class number 8, corrosive materials, things like mercury, sulfuric acid, formaldehyde. Class number 9, miscellaneous hazardous materials. These are materials that don't fit any definitions for other hazard classes, things like dry ice and asbestos. Placards must be the directed size and color. Placards cannot be made of paper. In fact, they must be made of plastic or metal because it is required that they are able to withstand 30 days of weathering. Placards must be conspicuously placed on all 4 sides of the vehicle so emergency responders can see the placard when approaching the vehicle from any direction. Do not place signs or slogans or advertisements on the vehicle that could be mistaken for hazmat placards. An example would be a drive safely posting in the placarding brackets. Do not post hazmat placards on a vehicle that does not contain hazardous materials. And do not ever substitute the wrong hazmat placard for another hazmat placard. CFR 49 lists all of the directives and exceptions on when to and not to placard hazardous material loads. The majority of the information is found in Table 1 and Table 2. To help simplify some of the information found in the CFR, BWI offers the Hazmat Placarding Tip Sheet. The grouping at the top is actually Table 1 from the CFR. And for these items, you must placard any amount that are in your cargo. If you have any amount of any of these items, you must placard with the appropriate placard. The second grouping is Table 2 from the CFR. And like it says on the top of the group, if you have 1,001 pounds or more of any of these items, you must placard. If you have over 1,001 pounds, you must apply the appropriate placard to your load. Next, the dangerous placard. You must placard dangerous when the combination of hazardous materials, not including Class 9 materials, is 1,001 pounds or more. Now, if one hazardous material is 2,205 pounds or more, and there's any other amount of another hazardous material, you must placard the 2,205 pounds with that placard and also placard dangerous.